Welcome to another episode of Crawfordsville Connection, the City of Crawfordsville's weekly podcast that comes out every Monday morning. I'm your host, Sarah Summer, and I'm joined in the studio every week with Mayor Todd Barton to keep our community up to date on current events, city workings, and to hear from community members on a variety of topics. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Welcome back to another episode of Crawfordsville Connection. I'm your host, Sarah Summer. And today I'm joined in the studio by Mayor Todd Barton.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Good to be here.
Good, yes. And today with us, we're going to be talking all things parks and recreation, the upcoming farmers market, spring and summer programming.
It's finally here.
It is. It's that time of year.
Yeah.
It's getting to be nice, a little bit more consistent weather. We talked last week where we were seeing rain, hot, cold.
Yeah. A little bit of a variety of things, but
Yes.
It's hopefully going to level out.
Yeah. Well, Mayor, before we get started, do you have any announcements?
I do. So on Wednesday, April 29th, from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m., I will have a community forum here in the mayor's office.
Ask questions.
You have questions, concerns, complaints, suggestions,
Yeah. Maybe you listen to our general update and want to know more things.
whatever. Yeah, just stop by and we'll have a chat. So again, that's Wednesday the 29th from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m.
Yes,
And the mayor's ball is quickly approaching.
it is.
The pressure is on.
We're just under 2 weeks from the event.
May 7th at 5 p.m. Are there any tickets left?
There's still some.
Okay.
So if you haven't got your tickets,
you've got a chance.
yeah, you've got a chance.
Yeah.
You're going to want to join in. We've got, an awesome silent auction lined up. A lot of really cool items that are unique to either this event or things that you don't typically see in a silent auction. Some experiences, some one-of-a-kind type of items. So
Yeah,
check
I'm
that
excited
out.
because not only about the venue and everything, but this is going to really raise some good money for the Boys and Girls Club. And I see what they do.
Yeah.
So pretty excited.
Yeah, we're quickly approaching, and the bonus, Mayor, is you get to dress up. Right?
I do.
That's the fun part.
To be determined.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
We're
only have a few
we're working
days.
on that. We're close. We're close, but we're not quite there yet.
Yes. So it's going to be a great time. And again, that's at the new Ira Whiskey facility at 110 Whiskey Row out in the Commerce Park across from Wellbrook. If you haven't been out there, take a drive.
Yeah,
It's
just drive through that whole
incredible.
area. Looks different for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we'll turn it over to our guest now. We'll start with Fawn Johnson.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. Happy to be here on the podcast to talk about what's going on for spring and summer in Parks and Recreation.
Awesome. And Fawn is our director of Parks and Rec and longtime guest, what is it? First time listener. What is it?
First time caller.
First time caller.
We don't take
long-time
calls,
listener.
though.
We don't take calls. Not.
Maybe we should start that.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine?
A lot. Maybe our live FAQ episode. We could do something like that.
We'll take calls with a 10-second delay. How's that?
Yes. We'll screen the calls.
Yeah.
We'll have Renee screen them first and send them in.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Fawn, thank you for being here. And with us today, we have Kristen Collins.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Kristen, tell us a little bit about who you are and what is your role.
So I am the new Crawfordsville and Tri-County Bank Farmers Market Manager. So it's exciting to be here.
Awesome. Well, Kristen, let's talk about that. You are the new market manager. What excites you most about this upcoming farmers market season?
So with this new upcoming farmers market season, we just have returning vendors. We have some new vendors. We're having just a very diverse amount of different types of produce, local meats, local artisans, of course, music, coffee. It's just going to be fun community involvement. And it's just to show off the small businesses and the small, just the stuff that makes this community just a great community.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned Crawfordsville Tri-County Bank Farmers Market. Tell us about that. We've got a new name. They're a sponsor. What does that look like?
Yes. So we now have a new exclusive sponsor, the Tri-County Bank and Trust. They have graciously become our exclusive sponsor with a 3-year contract. So that is awesome. So yes, we do have a new name change. It is now the Crawfordsville and Tri-County Bank farmers market. So Anthony Wireman, the director of business, as well as John Young, the president and CEO of Tri-County, just have been phenomenal with everything.
That's awesome. It shows, Mayor, the community support and, having a local bank like Tri-County here to be able to
Yeah.
support what we're doing in the community and making sure that the farmers market can continue and be a success is
It just
huge.
takes it to the next level, really.
Yeah.
If you think about it. I was driving through there, I think it was last Saturday, and I thought, oh, the market will be here. Like, before we know it, on Saturday mornings, this will be the
Yes.
place to be.
Yeah. When does it start?
In 1 week. So May 2nd will be our very first market. So get ready. It's coming. And then it will have 22 weeks every Saturday until September 26th from 8 a.m. to 12 noon at the historical downtown Pike Place.
Yeah, that is going to be incredible. It is such a fun time to drive down there. Mayor, like you said, you just see it, the streets closed at Pike Place. It's the perfect location
It is.
for a farmer's market.
Yes.
It's closed. You see people walking down there. They're enjoying the lawn space. I mean, that's exactly what Pike Place was envisioned for.
Yeah. It's a dream come true. I mean, we envisioned that from day one, and it's just turned out great. And I tell the story, I probably told it on here before. The farmer's market ended up there by accident, so to
Mhm.
speak. Like, it was in the courthouse parking lot. They needed to do some work on the parking lot. They came to us and said, where can we go for 1 week? We're like, let's go on Pike Street.
Yeah.
And they were there 1 week and it never left.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the perfect fit. It's where it belongs. And,
Yeah.
we talk about be here and be known. There's nothing more that fits that more than the farmer's market on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
You see everybody there.
You do.
Yeah.
And, you drive down Washington Street and you can see it, the amount of people just
And smell
overflowing.
it, the
Yes,
food.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then, you see people too, they come down for the farmer's market, but then they stay, they shop our local downtown shops. They go eat downtown. It's a perfect time to get out and enjoy our community on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, I always say it's like a social gathering for everyone,
It
no
really
matter
is.
your age, whatever you do. It's that place that is just kind of like the center, especially on Saturdays. Families can come down. We have, some of the guys from Wabash College, they come down and they get breakfast instead of eating, in the cafeteria down there. That's where you get your local coffee, your local meats, little things like that. Bring, we got dogs, cats, kids. It's just a
Yes.
social gathering for everyone.
Yeah. So talk about this season, what's coming up, what can people expect, and what should people be looking forward to?
So we have some new things coming to the market. We, of course, have, like I said, we have our returning vendors. We have, Hedrick's Family Farms will always be there. We have Jamie Smith with her flower bouquets, 1832. Always have the coffee. Then, of course, we're going to be having some new vendors as well. We also will be doing a chef's table. We have 3 local chefs that will be coming, and they will be demonstrating and passing out samples. What they will be demonstrating will be up to them, but 80% of what they will be making will actually be coming from our local vendors.
That's very cool.
We'll have recipe cards of what they have to pass out to people. So there's that. We will have like the kid entrepreneurship twice during the season. So we'll have the kids will be able to come and show off their goods. Just quite fun little things. We have the taste of the market. So it'll be our vendors will have, samples of what they have. So people can come and say, hey, this was really good. Oh, I make this. And then they can just purchase it from those vendors, or, it's just kind of getting more involvement with everything going on.
Yeah, very cool. And that Kidpreneur Fair, that brings a lot of people out.
Yeah.
People love to support the local youth in our community. And they really do make some awesome items.
They do.
Those kids are creative, and it's all, they've got their handmade, amount signs, saying this is how much my prices are. And just seeing how happy they are when you're making those purchases, it's very, very cool.
Yeah, it's a really fun thing, and it teaches the kids, for the hard work and the dedication that they can do. We can earn them a little bit of money. Everyone likes that.
Yeah.
I know my kids do. But it's also nice to get them out in the community and having our community also help the next generation too. So our kid entrepreneurship, we're having 2 of them, is actually June 6th and September 12th.
Awesome. So mark those dates down on your calendar. Mayor, we talk about it. That's our future workforce, our
It is.
future,
The future of our community right there.
Yeah, our future leaders. And it's starting right here. And this is just another way that the community can rally around and support what these future leaders are doing.
Helps them grow and, helps the community all at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every year you do some different theme days and have
Yes.
something to look forward to. Do you want to talk about some of those themes you have this year?
Yeah. So we are doing, of course, Mother's Day market. So we'll be raffling off for Mother's Day. We're also going to be doing a garden day focusing on our vendors that promote growing gardens. We also will be giving the community can come to the market table and get packages of seeds that have been donated from Ryan's Flowers and Davidson's Greenhouse. Have been gracious and donated that for our community as well. We are partnering up with the 250th committee. So we'll be having a celebration, of course, on July 4th.
Yes.
Pollinator Day. So the beekeepers. So it's quite different things going on that's kind of focusing on every, little bits of every vendor.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, you mentioned some of the vendors. You said you've got some new. Is there still space if somebody's listening and they're like, I have something that I would like to sell? How can somebody become a vendor if there's space available?
So we do have some part-time vendor spaces open. They can visit the Park and Rec website. The application is there, or they can stop into the Park and Rec as well.
Perfect. And I'll go ahead and put that direct link in the show details so people can find that easily. And Mayor, thinking about the farmers market and, all that it does, why is it important to our community, the local economy? What does the farmers market bring to Crawfordsville?
Well, if we think about the community, people want these opportunities to come together. They want that sense of community. And that's one of our strengths, right? You don't have that in a lot of the bigger communities or even the suburban, I'll call them the donut communities. You don't know people. You don't have those connections. Here you do. And I think the really cool thing about the market is it's across the age spectrum.
Yeah.
So often we feel like we're doing things for this age group or that age group. This runs the gamut, right? And so it's just our chance to come together. We talk about that with the Strawberry Festival every year.
Yeah.
This is every week, and it's your chance to go there and see people you haven't seen in a while and socialize and visit and just be a part of something and feel connected. And that's what the market does for us. And then, on the business side, it's really interesting how many businesses have started in the market. That's where they got their start. And then they became bricks and mortar later.
Yeah.
So it's important in that front too. And it allows those vendors to have a place to conduct their business, which they wouldn't necessarily have. I think it's been interesting. I've been noticing this spring, the number of food trucks and food trailers around. Like that is the thing, right? And they're popping up all over the place and they move around and it's good. It's healthy. That's what people want. They want variety and different things. And it's an interesting way to do it.
Yeah.
So to bounce off of what you were saying, so a couple things. When you were saying about like the community knowing our vendors and everything, we are going to be spotlighting our vendors. At least one vendor every week is going to have a highlight. That way our community can get to know our vendors more on, hey, I just buy my meat from you or my flowers from you or honey. You get to know these people on a deeper connection. So that'll be a big thing for that is kind of new. Also food trucks. Of course, we have our 1832 with their coffee and their breakfast items. We have smoking meats and rolling dough will come in. We will also be having some mini donuts, waffles, biscuits and gravy trucks are going to be setting up. So we will be having a lot of food trucks as well. So it's going to be a good place to eat.
Yeah. I know that's a big draw for people. You can come down and buy the things that you need for the rest of the week, but sometimes, like the meat is frozen or it's not accessible to eat right then. And so people can come down and get their breakfast, but then also load up on the groceries and the other goods that they're wanting for the rest of the week.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, Fawn, I think we'll turn it over to you now and just talk about some of the upcoming spring and summer Parks and Rec programming. I'd say this is your busy time, but I think you're always busy.
This is the busiest time, let's say that.
Yes.
So spring is springing, as they say,
Yes.
and lots of things kind of happen at the same time in parks. So, things are greening up, people are going outside, and then we also have a lot of programming that we do spring and summer.
Yeah, and we'll kick it off with adult softball.
Yeah, so adult softball, there's a long history of, being a big sport in our community. And unfortunately, we've seen a decline in the, recent decades. I think, with the boomers, it was a big thing. And we don't see younger people coming in as we're losing people as they age out of that. So we know many communities don't even offer adult softball anymore.
Right.
And we want to keep that sport alive here. So we're just trying to encourage people to participate. You don't have to be highly competitive. It's a recreational league. We have men's and women's league along with a co-ed league. And I think one of the things that might be off-putting to people is the price tag.
Yeah.
So you see a league fee for men's and women's of $650. That sounds like a lot.
Right.
If you have a team of 12 people, that's $55 per person. You get 16 games. That's about $3 per game.
Yeah. It's cheaper than bowling.
Yeah, it is. It's cheaper than coffee.
Yeah.
So a lot of teams get sponsors, and the players really aren't even paying to play. They have a sponsor that's covering those costs. So we just want to encourage people that maybe if you ever thought about it and you weren't sure, we really are trying to keep this alive in our community. And we're taking registration through May 18th. For the team registration. And then we have games starting the last week of May for the men's and women's league. And then for our co-ed league, registration runs through June. That price tag's much cheaper. There's not as many games. It's $300 for the co-ed teams. So just encouraging anyone who ever really thought about it, you used to play, baseball or softball in high school and you want to get back to it, put together a team and hopefully we'll see that a little bit of growth in that sport.
Yeah, absolutely. Mayor, I'm hearing we need a city team or something.
Oh my.
I'm not very
I'm
sporty.
not hearing that.
Well, you're not hearing that? I'm not very sporty, so I don't know.
Yeah. You never know.
We'll call on somebody else to do that.
We have some players though, I'm sure.
And then you've also got the Seaville 500.
Yeah, so that's an annual event we do in the month of May. We live in Indiana. There's a lot of buzz around the Indy 500. So we just did a little play on that with a walking challenge. So it's the Seaville 500. It's 500 laps of the walking track at the community center, which is the equivalent of 37 miles. So a lot of people will come in, walk those miles on our track, but you don't have to do it inside. You could do this anywhere. For some people, it's just a way to stay motivated, keep yourself accountable. How many miles do you have to walk in a week to get that done? It might keep you on a schedule of walking regularly. And then anyone that participates turns in their tracking sheet, gets a Seaville 500 t-shirt at the end of the month. So it's just a kind of a fun, easy, self-monitored program.
Yeah, absolutely. And, how do people participate in that? If they want to sign up, do they have to pre-sign up? Do they have to... What does that look like?
We'll take registration, through early May.
Okay.
You don't want to wait too long, to get your miles in. But they could sign up online or in person at the Parks Department. We give them a tracking sheet, and then they come back at the end and pick up their T-shirts.
Perfect. And, this is probably a topic that everybody's wanting to know the answers to. We're getting to the season of the pool. And we all know that last year we had some challenges.
We'll call them
just some challenges.
With the age of the pool, we have unique challenges, I like to call them.
Well, and they seem unique to everybody. There's been, it seems like challenge after challenge too. So where do things currently stand with the pool and what are we hoping to expect moving forward?
We are going to have some repairs done on the pool, and it is our plan to be open and operating this summer. We don't know specifically the timeline of when these repairs will be completed. So we're looking at early to mid-June as an anticipated opening date. But we do plan to operate. I know that's been a topic of controversy, people saying, no, we're not. Yes, we are. We do plan to be open and operational this summer.
Isn't it crazy that people on Facebook know things before we know things?
Mhm.
It happens. So if you're listening and you're seeing some of those comments, here's the answer right here. Send them this episode.
You heard it directly.
Yes, directly from Fawn. And I think if anybody knows, it would be you.
And we've talked about this in the general update. We talked about numbers. The city committed, dollars to this to make sure this happens. It will happen. I think the unknown is just the timeline, like Fawn said.
Correct.
Yeah.
You're dealing with weather and contractors and all these variables that are sometimes hard to predict. And Fawn has to be careful talking about how old the pool is. It was constructed the same year I was born. So.
Oh, it's not old. It's middle-aged.
Just kidding.
Yes.
I need updates too.
Yes,
I need some work to do.
Have you had some challenges too?
I've had some challenges.
And the splash pad, when can families start enjoying that?
We usually try to open that a little bit earlier than the pool opens because it doesn't have to be staffed.
Mm-hmm.
The real question mark there is just kind of weather, temperature. Yeah. Typically, we'll open that like around the third week of May, weather permitting. Mm-hmm. And then the hours for the splash pad, it's open 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily. There is no fee to use that when the pool is not open.
Okay.
When the pool is open, you pay the pool admittance fee and you enter through the pool and have access to both facilities. But until the pool is open, that's free all the time, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Perfect. And what age group would you say it's best suited for? Who do you see using the splash pad the most?
Well, that's interesting. It really could be for all ages. I think the age of children that really appreciate it are, toddlers, school age, elementary school age kids. But, sometimes older siblings are there. I've seen a couple of ladies that come and just lay out. They're just catching some rays. They might walk through the splash pad to cool off, and then they're back in the chair. Yep. So it really could be for anyone, but really, I think young children get the most enjoyment out of that space.
Awesome. And swim lessons. I know people are always looking for swim lessons in the community. Who are those for? When do they start? Is there a cost associated? What do you have going on for swim lessons?
Yeah, we will offer 2 sessions of swimming lessons. And these are really designed for beginning swimmers, people who don't have any previous experience or have a little bit and are really just learning swimming skills. We don't really go into the advanced lessons. So these are for kids ages 4 and up. Generally, they kind of top out around 12 or 10 or 12. And the first session is June 15th through June 25th. So these will meet Monday through Thursday for 2 weeks.
Okay.
6:15 to 6:45. The fee is $40 per session. And then the second session runs July 13th through July 23rd.
Okay.
Same time, same fee.
Awesome. And those are at
the Milligan Park Pool.
Perfect. And, I think that's kind of the main stuff you've got going on. Again, Fawn, like you said, they're using the parks, people are out there, but these are kind of the structured programming that you have for spring and summer coming up. But, looking forward to a nice season of summer and good weather coming up. And, Kristen, as we wrap up, I guess I want to ask you, why should people come to the farmers market this year?
The farmers market, it's just a great gathering place. Like I've said, you get to see the different small businesses around the community. You get to interact with different people. It's just a big community event, and it's just fun.
Yeah. Awesome. And Fawn, for you, what are you most excited about, this season?
Well, I was thinking about that, and it's really hard to pinpoint one thing, but, our park staff, maintenance, programming staff, we put a lot of time and energy into organizing these things. So it's nice once they are happening and you see kind of the fruits of your labor, so to speak. And when the parks green up and you hear from somebody that says, hey, I went out to the Brickyard and I hadn't been there, and that's so cool. And people just experiencing all of the opportunities that we have for recreation in our community.
Yeah. And Mayor, what makes Crawfordsville so special this time of year?
It's special all year.
It is. It is. It is.
I think that's now we have the chance, people are kind of inside a little bit more, obviously in the winter, but now you can really get out and do things and you're going to be able to connect with people more. I mean, you may go to the Brickyard and walk and see 5 people, and go to the farmer's market and go to all these different places. And it's the connections that make our community so special. And they're heightened this time of year because we're out there more.
Yeah. And you kind of alluded to, we've got Strawberry Festival coming up. This is the time of all the things happening.
And, we're going to celebrate the 250th, right?
Yes.
And we'll have the fireworks in the park. I know Fawn's working on that. She doesn't know this yet. We're going to sign the contract for the fireworks in the next week or so.
I was going to ask you about that after this.
And we've worked in a little bit of extra to kind of make it a little bit extra special. So it'll be our normal fireworks show plus a little extra on the fireworks side. So
for the 250th, which is cool. And stay tuned for that. There is a whole committee that's working on 250th celebration items. So I know checking out all the things happening in the community for that. Some special events, but then also, like you said, just kind of some of our annual events and making them more patriotic and themed and extra special for that 250th celebration.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else that any of you would like to add?
I would just like to welcome Kristen as the new farmers market manager. She was previously a vendor, so she's familiar with how things operate there.
Not your first market.
No.
Right. And we're just happy to have her and wishing her a great market season.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all so much for listening. As always, check out Yodel, our Community Connections calendar and newsfeed for all things happening in Crawfordsville in one easy, convenient location. And don't forget to send us any recommendations or thoughts you might have on topics or things you want to hear about on this podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on this podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you aren't already, follow us on Facebook at City of Crawfordsville Official, on Twitter at City of Seaville, and on Instagram at City of Crawfordsville. We hope you have a wonderful day and can't wait for you to join us next week.